In anime, there's nothing more adrenaline pumping than a great power-up moment. That moment when a character rises from the brink of defeat, unleashing a jaw-dropping transformation or unlocking a hidden ability that leaves everyone, characters and viewers alike, speechless. So today, let's look at the most legendary power-ups in anime. Let's get going. Giorno Giovanna's Gold Experience Requiem from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is in a league of its own. You're already rocking a stand that can literally give life to inanimate objects, and then it evolves into a reality-warping beast that breaks the very concept of cause and effect. Yep, Giorno took "you can't touch me" to existential levels. The moment Gold Experience Requiem activates, you know someone's about to have a really bad day. And by someone, I mean Diavolo, because GER erases your will to fight and throws you into an endless loop of misery. It's the definition of peak JoJo absurdity, and we love that. It's the ultimate counter to everything. Try to attack? No. Rewrite reality? Nah. Time skip? Sorry, it's not happening. This power also perfectly matches Giorno's arc as a character, from a calm, composed dreamer to someone literally reshaping the world to make it just.
何かを感じるが、それだけだ。
強いは弱いのみ、全部大事。
まあ一朝一夕には体得できないでしょうが。いや、もういい。大体わかった。え？
カビ丸、タオ、大きい。
よけて、こんな説明で理解したのか。
伽藍のガビ丸の本性ってわけだ。
より強くより弱く、まるで一滴の水が周囲とぶつかり、大きな波紋を作る様がわかるように。
Next up, we have Gabimaru's ultimate power-up moment. Up until this point, Gabimaru has been cutting through enemies with his insane ninja skills and sheer grit, but when Tao enters the picture, it's a whole new ballgame. Tao's basically the life force of the island, kind of like a mix between ki and elemental energy, and Gabimaru has to figure out how to tap into it to survive against increasingly godlike enemies. It's a mental and spiritual power-up, which is a big deal for a guy who spent most of his life thinking emotions and bonds made you weak. It's one of those rare anime upgrades where you feel the effort behind it. The power-up also levels the playing field, letting him face off against the Tensen, who are basically immortal killing machines. And let's not ignore how visually stunning it is when he starts channeling Tao. It makes every fight feel larger than life. It really is a turning point in his journey.
なんだ、一瞬で起きやがった。
5枚目には悪魔が住む。
変身をしたみてえだが、そいつで一体何を見せてくれるんだ。みなぎってくる。
For the next one, I have to go with Astar's demon form in Black Clover, because this power-up is the definition of next level. It's the kind of power-up that leaves you scared for a moment. Astar's demon form gives him a massive power boost, making him not only physically stronger, but also way faster and way more terrifying. It's a total glow-up in terms of combat, where Astar can now go toe-to-toe with some of the toughest opponents in the Clover Kingdom, all while channeling that raw, chaotic demon energy. His whole attitude changes too. He's no longer just this determined, fight-through-the-pain type of guy. Now he's got this aura of unstoppable force behind him, and it's clear that he's stepping up to a whole new level. There's also this constant tension between him and the demon power within him, and that's what makes it so amazing. Not to mention the visuals, the dark aura, the insane strength, the freaking spikes. It all comes together to make this transformation one of the most intense and fun to watch in the series.
綾瀬さん、
今度は何？
自分が戦います。
let's talk about Okarun's Turbo Granny transformation from Dan Da Dan. Yep, you read that right. Turbo Granny. It's one of those bizarre power-ups that you didn't see coming, but absolutely love once it happens. One of my favorite things about this anime is that normally the meek, nerdy, wimp-type protagonist is completely dependent on their transformation, not just for raw power, but also for the courage and confidence to get things done. But the difference with Okarun is that he's already 100% capable of that courage and drive when push comes to shove, and his super form actually makes things mentally harder for him, not easier. It genuinely took some getting used to every time he got angry or assertive, because I was so conditioned not to expect it from this type of character, especially not so soon. Anyway, Okarun's Turbo Granny power-up is a transformation that's both ridiculous and somehow badass at the same time.
贋作偽善者か。俺は偽物だからな。勘違いしていた。俺の剣聖っていうのは剣を作ることじゃないんだ。自分の心を形にすることだけだった。体は剣でできている。幾度の戦場を越えて腐敗。ただ一度の敗走もなく、ただ一度の勝利もなし。剣の丘で鉄を打つ。ならば我が生涯に意味はいらず、無限の剣でできていた。
Moving on, we have this epic moment when Shiro turns into Archer. You've got a character who's already strong and determined, but when he finally comes face to face with the whole becoming the hero thing, he pulls a complete 180 and turns into the legendary Archer, his future self. Not only does Shiro get a huge power up, but he's also dealing with some major existential questions like, how did I turn out this way? It's the moment that ties everything together and makes us realize Shiro's potential isn't just in his present, it's in his future too. Watching him go from a naive idealist to someone with the skill set and mental toughness of Archer is a huge leap. It's a perfect twist that not only gives him a massive power boost, but also ties into the theme of his growth and self-realization. This power-up is about Shiro embracing his true potential and realizing he can be the hero he's always dreamed of being, but with the weight of knowing what it takes to get there. So yeah, it's emotional, it's badass, and it's exactly the kind of twist you want from a character's journey.
蹴りをつけます。セカンドトップ何をされた。変則オーバードライブデトロイトスマッシュ。
Blasting its way into the list is Midoriya's Gear Shift, a power-up we recently got to witness. Now, you thought One For All was already overpowered? Well, buckle up, because Gear Shift takes it to an entirely new dimension, literally. It's like Midoriya went from driving a standard car to suddenly piloting a jet fighter with turbo boosters, all while barely holding on. It's a quirk that lets Deku control the speed and motion of anything he touches. Combine that with One For All, and it's absolute insanity. Midoriya can shift gears mid-air, accelerate faster than the eye can see, and basically defy the laws of physics. Oh, and did I mention he can hit with so much force that it feels like the universe itself pauses for dramatic effect? Yeah, it's that kind of upgrade. This is the culmination of everything he's learned and trained for, showing how far he's come since the days of breaking his bones just to throw a punch. Gear Shift is powerful, sure, but it also demands precision, strategy, and control, everything that makes Deku the hero he's been striving to become.
その100倍の力をひねり出せ。俺の体の柔らかさを見くびったね。険しい山で育った俺には毒も効かねえ。
You know that feeling when the underdog finally levels up and the whole crowd goes wild? That's exactly the energy of this power-up. Tanjiro, a kind-hearted, headbutt-loving protagonist, suddenly goes from skilled swordsman to, oh, you messed with the wrong guy in the blink of an eye. The moment Tanjiro unlocked his Demon Slayer mark was next-level hype, and a big part of that was just how much blood, sweat, and broken bones he poured into it. Like my guy was running on fumes, had 2 broken fingers, barely any stamina left, and was still out there swinging with his sword like a champ. You could practically feel the weight of every strike, every step, every desperate gasp for air, and that's what made it so satisfying. Watching Tanjiro push himself past the breaking point and still find that tiny spark of strength to activate the mark, it's absolutely amazing. This scene hits hard because it reminds us that greatness doesn't come easy, it's earned. Tanjiro's perseverance in the face of overwhelming odds turns this moment into one of the most intense and unforgettable in Demon Slayer.
終わってもいい。ありったけを。やはりこいつの牙は王にも届き得た。
As we continue, we have the unforgettable moment when Gon finally transforms into his adult form. Gon was devastated and furious after learning what happened to Kite. We've seen him mad before, but this time he's so consumed by rage and grief that he goes full on, I don't care about anything anymore. That's when he unleashes this transformation, essentially trading away his entire future to gain a ridiculous amount of power in the present. Gon literally forces his body to mature to its absolute peak, becoming this hulking, beastly adult version of himself. Think of it like a cheat code but with serious consequences. What makes this moment so insane is just how raw and terrifying it is. He destroys Neferpito with such overwhelming power that even the mighty Chimera Ant is straight up horrified. And let's be honest, when Pito, one of the scariest characters in the series, is trembling in fear, you know it's about to go down. This scene perfectly captures the dark side of desperation and rage, turning what could have been just another shonen power-up into something unforgettable.
"最後の月牙天将ってのは月牙になることだ。最後の月牙天将、この技を使えば俺は死神の力の全てを失う。最後ってのは無月」
Going towards Bleach, Ichigo was already strong, but this scene is like, hold my Zanpakuto, let me show you what unstoppable really looks like. Now Ichigo's facing Aizen, who's basically ascended to godhood at this point. Aizen's out here flexing his immortality and looking down on everyone like, you ants can't touch me. But Ichigo, he's done with the back and forth. He's got one last ace up his sleeve. Final Getsuga Tensho, also known as Mugetsu, and man, what an ace it is. A fusion of Hollow, Quincy, and Shinigami powers all crammed into one crazy transformation. Ichigo's body starts transforming like a hollow, complete with the eerie mask, but then it gets wild. His energy distribution goes all over the place, kind of like how Quincy's less still can drain their powers. He's got the unstable energy, the red eyes reminiscent of young Yuha, and then boom! His sword fuses with him, turning him into a Getsuga in true Shinigami style. It's like all the best, most dangerous parts of each power come together in one epic package, but at a steep cost. This was a power-up so legendary that even Aizen had to pause his god complex to appreciate it.
こっからでもはっきり感じる。
俺はいわば完全なる不死。
俺がお前を倒すんじゃねえ。俺らで倒すんだってばよ。
お前をな、まだら。
陸道戦術を開花し、片やリンネガンを開眼したか。これが最後の戦いだ。俺の力とお前らの力。どっちが上か決着をつけてくれよ。
Let's go to Naruto's 6-Path Sage mode, because this power-up is next level ridiculous in the best possible way. After Naruto receives the power of the Sage of the 6th Path, he taps into a whole new realm of abilities. We're talking about the ultimate upgrade. This mode is packed with insane sensory abilities, heightened strength and super speed, all while he's chilling with the energy of the entire universe. His eyes change to that signature orange with those black marks, and the chakra surrounding him looks like it could vaporize entire cities. But it doesn't stop there. 6-Path Sage mode gives Naruto the ability to sense chakra on any insane level, allowing him to predict and counter attacks like he's reading your mind. Plus, his body's now supercharged, and he can dish out crazy attacks that are on a godly scale. Oh, and did I mention the ability to float? Yeah, he can fly. So not only is he faster than ever, but now he's got air superiority too. 6-Path Sage mode is the peak of his journey, and watching him effortlessly slip into this godlike state is the perfect payoff for his years of struggle. Plus, he looks super cool with those eyes. Now, this moment in Attack on Titan is a total game changer and one of the wildest power-ups. You see, Eren has always been pushing the boundaries of what's possible with his Titan abilities, but when he unlocks the Founding Titan's power, everything flips upside down. This is the moment where he essentially goes from being a guy who's just trying to survive to a force of nature that can reshape the world. Imagine a giant humanoid figure with glowing eyes and a twisted, otherworldly vibe, and you get the Founding Titan. The visual of him towering over everything, his sheer presence bending reality, is a perfect reflection of his mental state. It's dark, it's massive, and it's terrifyingly beautiful. The power to control the future, the world, and ultimately the fate of humanity itself is the ultimate evolution of Eren's will, and it's about as terrifying as it is awe-inspiring.
来た。お前の意志は受け取った。無限の闇を光に変える。一気同心。超銀河グレンラガン。
If there's one thing Gurren Lagann has taught us, it's that the power to drill through the heavens doesn't come from brute strength. It comes from pure, unrelenting spiral energy. And no one embodies that better than Simon. Simon's spiral power is a screw logic, we're going big moment. It basically feeds off determination, growth, and believing in the impossible. The more he pushes past his limits, the crazier it gets. It's wild, it's epic, and it's proof that with enough willpower, there's no ceiling on what you can do. Or as Garmina would say, believe in you who believes in yourself. Simon's spiral power is the ultimate power of potential upgrade, and it works so well because it's all about growth, belief, and breaking through limits. Unlike typical power-ups where you just get stronger, Simon's spiral power grows with him, from starting as a tiny spark to powering galaxy-sized mechas. It's the kind of escalation that just keeps you hooked. Plus, it's not handed to him. Simon earns this power by facing his doubts, pushing through his grief, and believing in the impossible.
高速制御術式ゼロを使え。
化け物め、悪魔、ドラキュル、ドラキュラー。
Terrorizing his way onto the list, when Alucard says he's about to release his control art restrictions, you know it's about to get real. This dude has it locked up like a rabid beast, waiting for the perfect moment to let it loose. And when he finally does, oh boy, all hell breaks loose, literally. Alucard goes from a smug, unstoppable vampire to the embodiment of chaos, summoning armies of the damned, regenerating like it's no big deal, and turning every fight into a one-sided massacre. With every level of restriction he lifts, the carnage gets crazier, and you're just sitting there thinking, how much more OP could this guy get? Well, a lot more. This power-up is brilliantly tied to his character. The restrictions symbolize the control he's agreed to for the sake of his humanity, or what's left of it, and releasing them shows how far he's willing to go when the gloves come off. It's terrifying, stylish, and ridiculously satisfying every single time.
来るぞ。
「 It's time to talk about Goku's Ultra Instinct. This power-up is the ultimate flex in the Dragon Ball universe. Goku's been training for years, pushing himself to the limit with every fight, but Ultra Instinct is something entirely different. It's like flipping a switch in his body that allows him to fight on instinct alone. Not thinking, just pure action. His body moves without him consciously controlling it, dodging and striking with such precision that even the most powerful opponents can't land a hit on him. He's essentially become a fighting machine, relying solely on his instincts, and it's beautiful to watch. When Goku activates Ultra Instinct, he gets this divine silver-haired glow with eyes that basically scream, "I'm untouchable." He's faster, stronger, and more precise than ever before. It's like his body and mind have synced up in perfect harmony, allowing him to dodge, block, and counter-attack without breaking a sweat. Goku reaches a level of fighting that transcends mortal limits, becoming one with the battle itself. Okay, if you thought Luffy's past power-ups were wild, hold on, because Gear 5 takes everything to the next level, like way up. After unlocking the power of the Gomu Gomu no Mi, now revealed to be the Hito Hito no Mi, Model Nika, Luffy enters a state that's more than just physical strength. It's a complete redefinition of what it means to be a fighter. He taps into the full potential of the mythical sun god Nika, and his body literally becomes rubberized on a cosmic scale. We're talking cartoon physics taken to the extreme. His body stretches, morphs, and transforms in the most ridiculous ways, making every battle feel like a wacky, colourful fever dream. Think Luffy turning into a living, breathing cartoon where he can do whatever the heck he wants. His body defies logic. He can move like liquid, dodge every attack, and punch with the force of a literal god. And what's even crazier, his joy and laughter fuel his power, making him even more unpredictable. Gear 5 is the perfect fusion of ridiculousness and absolute power, and watching Luffy pull it off is like watching the very fabric of the world bend to his will. And with that, we're wrapping up this list of the most legendary power-ups in anime. Be sure to comment down below any debuts you think should have made the list. And if you enjoyed this video, take a look at this one. See you next time.